Awesome. I was going to say, so today we're going to work on creating an invoice with Canva. So if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out. You can type them in chat, whatever's more comfortable for you.
Yeah, you bet. I'm the only one here.
You are.
You ever have anybody more in your face than me?
It's all right. I love having you here, Judy.
That's good. Awesome. All righty.
All right. So
ready.
Some of the things that we're going to talk about are, we're going to go over what an invoice is, what the difference is between an invoice and a receipt, should invoices be signed, what specifically makes them professional, what they include, and then we're going to have the steps that we're going to go over in Canva up on the screen so you guys can take note before we go on.
Okay.
All right. So first, what is an invoice? So basically, an invoice is a document that you send to clients that lists the goods or services that you provided for them, and it makes a request for payment. So the biggest thing overall with your invoice is that you want to make it clear, simple, and easy to understand. All right. So the difference between invoices and receipts. So invoices are documents that are a request for the amount owed. And receipts are documents that are proof of payment. So should invoices be signed? No, invoices don't need to be signed. So a formal signature is normally required for contracts that are drawn up before the work begins. So exceptions can apply to this depending on the company, but no is the general rule. So what makes an invoice professional? So the easiest way to keep it professional is to create a template for your company and to try and keep the design simple, clean, and pretty minimal. So try and ensure that all the numbers and the details are clear, and try to use what they call cool colors like black, gray, and blue, and try to stick to more classic and readable fonts. So that way it's easier for people and they're not like, oh, is that an A or is that a U? That way it's easy to tell what letter and number or what.
Black, gray, and blue?
Yes.
Mine are green. So I'll be changing.
Is it a dark green?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it's a super dark green along like the olive spectrum where it's like a blacky green, then that's okay. But if you end up more in like the brighter green, that can sometimes strain people's eyes.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No. May change it. There's quite a few things I'm going to change.
Well, that's all the point of this, right? It's to help you figure out what you do want and what you don't want in your invoices once you've graduated.
Right.
All right. So for invoice information, the first thing that you want to have on it are the names and contact information of both the parties involved. And the second thing is you're going to want to make sure that there's an invoice number on it and that other important codes and numbers are on there for you. The third piece you're going to want to put up is a description of the work that's done. The fourth is the quantity of the assignments that were completed. The fifth is the payment terms and the timeline for payment. Most of the time, this is laid out in the contract, so you can always refer to that for
Right.
each specific invoice. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. It's Monday,
It's Monday morning.
right? And then the last piece is the fee for the work. All right, so now we're going to go over the steps for creating an invoice in Canva. So what's really great, this week's one is pretty easy and straightforward. So it gives us a lot of time to practice, which is nice.
That's a good thing.
Right? All right, so step number 1 is you're going to open a blank page, and then in the template section, you can search for invoice design types. And you can do that just by typing invoice in, which I will show you in a couple of minutes.
Right.
The second, you're going to choose your template after you've browsed through and decided which one you like, or if you've chosen 2, you can have 2 of them open, and then you can pick and choose which elements of each that you want in your invoice.
Cool.
And then you're going to discover the features and customize. So basically, you can choose your own background, you can choose your color scheme and your font style. And then you're going to want to make sure there's some kind of structure to your design with lines, borders, and grids, things like that. And then you're going to want to personalize it. So that's where you put in your own images, your logo, any other branding elements that you have. And then you just kind of move around on the platform and you can mix and match different elements, like I said, from different templates if you want to. And you basically just experiment until you're happy with what you have.
Sounds good.
And then once you're happy with what you have, you can choose to print it or you can share it. So you can download it as a print ready PDF. So that way it's smaller in file size and easier to store. Doesn't take up so much space. Or you can actually share it directly via email with a link. Or you can share as an attached document.
Cool. Okay.
And like I said, short and sweet, pretty simple for creating an invoice.
That was it.
Right? That's it. Right? Like I said, short and sweet. So do you have any questions before we hop on a Canva?
No, so far pretty basic.
Right? Pretty basic, straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Not basic, it gets straightforward. I guess is a better word.
All right. So, yes, we will save. There we go. All right. So we opened our blank document. I always choose US letter because it's 8.5 by 11.
Yeah, right. That's a big one.
Right? So then you just go into templates here in the top left.
Mm-hmm.
And we will search invoice. Perfect. So there's a bunch to choose from.
Nice. You'll see.
Right? There are a bunch. So as I said, browse through, see which ones really speak to your business. Because I tend to keep everything the same for about a year before I kind of switch up what it looks like and stuff like that. So you want to make sure it's something that you like, right?
Okay. Yeah, I've had mine for about 10 years now. Haven't changed it. So time for change.
Right? Time for a little update, little refresh.
Update, refresh.
So we'll use this one. All right. Perfect. So first things first, we would update the name and the address for there and there. So bill to, payable to. So that would be client's information, and payable to would be your information.
Great.
And then you would update your invoice number.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can, this part is up to you if you want to put that on there. If you don't, you can literally just select it and delete it.
Okay.
But it gives you the option to put the date that is issued on.
Yeah,
and,
no, I like that. Yep.
Right? And then when it's due. So the date that the payment's due by.
On receipt.
Yeah. That's personally my favorite.
Yep.
And then it's up to you depending on the layout of yours. But this one, you can have your contact information down here as kind of like a footer.
Okay, because I've got, okay.
Like right down here.
Okay, isn't that the same as what's up top?
It is, but it also includes right here, payable to. But it also includes if you wanted to put your business address, your business telephone number, and then it just reiterates your email address and website.
Okay. Haven't got a website yet.
That's all right. It all takes time, right? You just finished Microsoft.
Oh,
You've got plenty of time to build your website.
well, hopefully I'll have, yeah, I'm I'm looking forward to that.
Right. And as I always say, if you have any questions as you're doing it, feel free to let me know. We can always too have a meeting where you screen share with me and we can walk through setting up parts of your website together.
That'll be perfect.
Of course, I'm here to help. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
I'm a resource for you guys.
Mm. Like I said, I know where you are.
Good. I hope you utilize me, Judy.
Yes.
All right. So as I talked about in the PowerPoint, here is where you can put a description of your services.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the layout, what this one does is instead of using like lines and grids and things like that, they use different colored rectangles to indicate different lines and different assignments.
Okay.
Which can sometimes be a lot more appealing to the eye than adding a bunch of lines within it, because then it ends up looking like an Excel spreadsheet almost.
Yeah, no, I like this idea.
Right? And then you can also go into it too and change all the colors and things like that. But we'll do that after. All right, so here is where you would type a description of your service. And again, you can lay it out differently if you want to. It's totally up to you. This is just the basics. And then for hours, if you're keeping track of hours based on your packages and things like that, you would stick that in there. Or that's possibly where instead you could put quantity. So if you did the assign, like say it was social media management and you were doing it per social media channel, then you could put description of service like social media management, and then the quantity would be however many channels you manage for them.
Okay.
So again, that's going to depend on how you list your services and packages and if you charge per hour.
Mine's listed by individuals per district, and however many individuals is like their X amount per hour. No, not per hour, per person, per month. So mine has a month, and then out of that I've got, in one district I've got 9 people, in another district I've got only 1 at this point, and then the amount per person, and then the total, and then I have a base fee as well, and the individuals are added to that.
Perfect. So do you list your base fee and then list the individual underneath?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. So it sounds like you've got an awesome invoice layout.
It's not bad, because they wanted it by district because they're all coded differently from the
Okay.
accounts payable section. So my month is on the right, on the left-hand side of what I'm doing. That's how many months I've invoiced for. Typically, it's 1 month.
Okay.
And how many individuals I have, I've got that in a box just above it. There's 1 month and how many drivers altogether. That's in a box by itself, but just about where you've got description. And then I come down there and I put in the month, and then my base fee is right on the as a total,
I love that.
like price and then total. Actually, it just goes straight to total because that doesn't change. And then I've got one district and there's 9 individuals. I just list them one right after the other, and then say it's 9 of 9, and then I times that by how much. This is my base rate for the individual, would be under hours. Then I've got the total. It goes over, would be say 5 times 9, whatever, and it goes over into the total. And then another district, same thing, and then that comes to a total. Then I have GST, and then the grand total.
That's awesome. You should totally email me like a blank copy of your invoice so I can see what it looks like.
I can do that very easily.
That way I can put an image to the description. I'd love to see that.
Cool. I will do that.
Oh, awesome.
I'm my issue is that I don't have what I am looking for is so that what these kind of be like the Excel and they total themselves and they just automatically total.
Gotcha.
Hours, then it goes into automatically, this is how much total is, and then goes down to the grand total. Then it just puts in its GST and for the GST and then the grand total kind of thing.
So you've got your formulas all set up to work for you then?
No, I don't. That's what I want. That's what I need to have.
Gotcha. Sorry, I misunderstood.
No,
Right.
I'm really looking for that. That was one of the things that I'm really looking for.
Well, that's something you and I could do one-on-one if you want.
Oh, no, yeah, because that's, yeah, I want to work it into my invoice somehow.
Perfect. So what we can do is, if you're okay with it, you and I can do kind of like a one-on-one, and it'll basically allow me to work out the kinks, so to speak, and then I'll be able to do it as a webinar for everybody else.
Oh, well, that would be awesome. Yeah, no, that would be perfect.
All right, so we want Excel formulas for invoices. Perfect. Thank you so much, Judy. Suggestions like this from you guys are really what helps me kind of gear the content towards what you guys really need from me. You know what I mean? Because there's so much content that I can give you guys, but the more feedback I get from you guys, the more direction I can get with it a little too.
Because right now it's just written up on a Word thing that I stuck together.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to send it to you.
Perfect. I was going to say, and then if you're able to send me your invoice, I can kind of use it as a template for prepping our walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be, yeah, no, I can do that.
That would be awesome. Thank you, Judy.
Nice. Thank you. It's more like it.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. I love doing this kind of stuff for you guys.
That's just perfect. So.
And then I'm gone after Tuesday this week, and then I'm back on the 4th, so Monday the 8th of November that week. If you're free anytime during there, you and I can have our one-on-one for Excel formulas if you want.
November 8th, did you say?
I did.
Okay, all right. It's Monday. Perfect. November 8th, yeah.
Let you go.
I don't have anything else on other than school.
All right. Is it easier for you to meet in the morning or the afternoon?
I prefer mornings all the time.
All right. Let's do the morning then.
Which works best for you?
How does 9 a.m. sound?
9. Perfect.
All right.
9 your time. That's 10 my time.
Perfect. Meeting with Judy. So I'll send you the Teams invite after the webinar then.
Perfect. Oh,
Perfect.
okay. No, I've got that. All right.
All right. Well, now we can continue on with this part. So, yep. So you would just put a description of your services. And again, depending on how you have them listed, whether it's hours or quantity, you would have that listed in the second column here. And then price is the individual price for the service.
Mhm.
Again, depending on how you have them listed. And then total is, again, if you do it by quantity or by hour, you would put the total in this column here. And then the amount due, you would total it at the bottom. And again, it's depending upon if your business is registered and charges GST, or if you make under, I believe the last time I checked, it was the $11,000 mark, where you don't have to charge GST, but that also means you can't collect GST.
Well, anything over 30,000, you have to. Now, I don't know whether they've changed that. I haven't looked even. Anything over 30. Bad network quality. Still there?
I'm still here. You've got me. So you said anything over 30? Oh, did I lose you, Judy?
You still there? Hello?
I'm still here. Hello. I got you. We're reconnected. Can you hear me? Judy, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Judy? Hi, Judy.
Lost you.
It's all right. We're back.
Okay. Good.
All righty. So now when it comes to, once you've got all of your information inputted, we'll go fit here for this one. It's going to be up to you how you want to lay it out. So if I was designing this on behalf of CanScribe, I have my brand kit set up so I can use my brand colors and I can literally just click it and it goes through. But we talked about the cool colors for making it easier to read. So I definitely want the black font there. But since this red makes it a little bit dark, I'm going to click on it. And instead of actually changing it because I really like it, I'm going to go to transparency and I'm just going to bring it down a bit.
Okay. That's interesting.
Right? And that way it lightens the color without actually having to change it. And then makes it a lot more appealing to the eye. So
Like
that oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I like that. I like playing with this kind of stuff.
Right? So since that one's 18, I just use my keyboard to control copy. And then I click on the other guys. And I paste. Perfect. And then these lines, I don't have to mess with the transparency and I can keep them darker just because they don't have text in them.
Okay.
Alrighty. And then if you wanted to keep the background color white, that's great. You can change it to a light gray if you wanted to, but generally I tend to keep it white just so I'm not using up a bunch of ink.
Yeah.
It's a lot more printer friendly.
Yeah, that and it looks good on that too.
Right?
Mind you, I would have my logo on there.
I was going to say, I would definitely put a logo on here. So where do I have CanScribe's logo? There we go.
Okay.
That guy's big. I'm going to make him smaller. And there we go. Logo's on there. And the nice thing about Canva too is that when you go to pick colors, you can also choose the colors from inside the photo. So it makes it easier for the design and everything to be really visual appealing for your clients and customers. And then for this design, it's totally, again, going to be up to you. But for this template, it's got a photo down here and a photo up here. So what you can do is go to Photos and search background. I spelled background wrong. There we go.
There we go.
And then it's got a bunch of different background images here. And then you can find one that you like that goes with your logo, whatever you feel, and you can literally just drag and drop. And like I said before, totally play with it. You don't have to settle on the first design, and you can go through and change your colors and everything too. You don't have to settle on the first thing that you picked.
Okay.
But you do want to make sure that you're picking something that's on brand.
Something that's not what?
That's on brand. So say, for example, if I was doing this on behalf of CanScribe, who's an educational institution, I might not want to have flowers everywhere.
Okay, no, gotcha. I wouldn't be putting flowers on mine either.
Right? So there's certain design elements that are great for like social media posts, but they're not necessarily so great for professional documents.
No. I just sent you my email, my invoice.
Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, just go through and decide which ones are going to work best for you. And once you've landed on one and you've got all of your information in there, you've gone through and you've made sure that your font types are easy to read, the numbers are legible. The one thing I don't like with this font type is, I'm going to fill so it's easier to see, is the $sign. It looks like an S.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Right?
Oh, can you change those kinds of things that are in the text?
I can. So there we go. So
changing the font.
Yeah. So Liber Baskerville is a traditional font. And with traditional fonts, you tend to have the line through all the way on the $signs.
I see. Okay. I never noticed that, until you pointed it out.
And then one of the things you can do instead of automatically just clicking back and forth, if you hold down the shift button and click on each individual box.
Yep.
Consistent. To them all. You can also just click and highlight all the ones you want to change. There you go. And then if you want to keep it the same, this body text here,
Same.
you would change. Same with payable to, issued and due. But the headers, you can keep the same. And then down here, we'll hide that because it's taking up space. We'll go fit. Here we go. What do we think?
I think that looks pretty good.
Right? It's a lot more legible.
Okay, so looking at that, the space that's underneath there, the gray that's on top and the gray that's on the bottom, is that part of the?
This and this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a part of the invoice.
Okay, because they're different color. I was just wondering if, because they're gray and not white.
Yeah, so with the
By design.
Yeah, so with the footer and header images, you can decide whether you want it to be standout and be different across all your invoices, or if when you search background, you can pick like a white one and drag it over so that way it's nice and subtle.
Okay.
Or like even.
I'll just play with it basically.
Right?
Oh, they're really cool. You're just dragging it over.
Yeah. You can drag.
Nice.
Right? And then with this one, you can double click on it and you can drag the photo. So that way you can choose what part of the photos being seen.
Okay. Nice. I like it.
Right? So then once you're happy with it and you've got it all set to go, you click on share and then you can download. And it already suggested PDF print, but if it doesn't suggest that right off the bat, you just click on it and it brings up the menu of how you can download it in which file formats.
Right.
But PDF print is generally the best. And then you
Where
just
I would
click
go.
download, right? I forgot to title mine properly. Don't forget to do that. And then always open it just to double check after export